We are now into consideration of resolutions. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of SJR 23.
Senate Joint Resolution 23 by Senators Roberts and Todd, also Representatives Lawrence and Janal, concerning the recognition of National Women's History Month and in connection therewith designating March as Colorado Women's History Month.
Representative Janal and Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move SJR 16-23 and ask that it be read at length. Not by me.
Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways, especially in the areas of political and social change. And whereas the United States boasts a rich history of women whose vast and courageous achievements speak to the sense of excellence and potential shared by all Americans. And whereas our country would not be where it is without the strength, bravery, insight, and persistence of the women who have come before us. And whereas American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, political, and social role in every sphere of life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor force, working inside and outside of the home as everything from educators to astronauts. And whereas American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements that create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas women have not only played a critical economic, cultural, and social role in our society, but women have also permanently changed the face of American government and politics. And whereas in 1893, Colorado was the first state to give women the right to vote through popular vote, and a year later, Colorado was the first state to elect women to the state legislature. And whereas the first women elected to the Colorado General Assembly in 1894 were Clara Cressingham and Frances S. Clock, both from Arapahoe County, and Carrie C. Hawley from Pueblo County. And Carrie C. Hawley has the distinction of being the first woman in United States history to initiate and get a bill passed. And whereas more than 200 women have served in the General Assembly since 1913, including Helen R. Robinson, who became the first woman to serve in the Colorado Senate, and more than 30 of those women have served in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. And whereas today women legislators play a vital role in addressing difficult social and economic issues and helping our country and the state of Colorado prepare for the future. And whereas Colorado again this year has the highest percentage of women serving in a state legislature at 42%, while the national percentage of women state legislators is 24.6%. And whereas Colorado currently has 42 women serving in the General Assembly, which is the largest number of women in the legislature in Colorado's history. And whereas such contributions and leadership in areas that help women improve their lives and the lives of those around them led the United Nations in 1975 to designate March 8th as International Women's Day, and led the United States Congress in 1987 to designate the month of March as National Women's History Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the 70th General Assembly, hereby declare the month of March 2016 to be Colorado Women's History Month in recognition of the struggles, accomplishments, and contributions of American women throughout history.
Representative Janal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of SJR 1623. Women have made countless contributions to our country throughout our nation's history. Some have names we recognize, like Clara Barton, Harriet Tubman, Susan B. Anthony, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Rosa Parks. But women's history is also about countless women whose names we do not know. The millions of women of courage and commitment who have served this society as doctors and scientists, as teachers and factory workers, marathoners and mothers, and at home and in schools, in offices and congregations, in our armed forces, and in our communities. Women have helped to build this nation and to keep it strong. It is in their honor that we pause to celebrate Women's History Month each year. Yet barriers remain. Women now work for pay in greater numbers, in more occupations, and for more years of their lives than ever before. But too many must still settle for compensation that's far below what it should be, and too many still struggle every day in tests of resourcefulness and devotion to balance the demands of work and family. If freedom and opportunity are truly to be the law of the land, we must sustain and renew our commitment to the principle of equality that is our American heritage and the work to remove the obstacles that stand in the way. Recognizing Women's History Month offers us an opportunity to celebrate the contributions of all of the women who have enriched our nation. I want to share a story with you that happened last summer. I did a 10-day trek in the high Sierras in Yosemite National Park, one of the most beautiful treks I've ever taken in the United States. On these treks, you sometimes sleep in tents with 6, 8, 10 other people, and these people turn out to be some of the most interesting and accomplished folks you'll ever meet from all around the world. And usually they'll have tents for women if there's enough on the trail, or it'll be mixed. It really doesn't matter. We're all hiking and having a good time out there. But we get to talking over a campfire or at a dinner, which is usually served family style. And about the 4th day of trekking, I'm hiking on this beautiful trail. And a gentleman about my age comes running up to me on the trail and he says, "I am so glad I caught up with you." And I had no idea who he was or what he was all about. He said he heard from the last camp he was in that I was a Colorado legislator. His name was Michael Waybrett. He just sold his family newspaper of over 50 years in Lodi, California. And he decided to trek the high Sierras with some old buddies and his son. I'm still wondering at this point, what does this have to do with anything? He continued to say he had something in common with me and with Colorado. His great-grandmother was Colorado's first woman senator. Helen Ring Robinson from 1913 to 1917. Helen Ring Robinson, Senator Helen Ring Robinson, served, before that she was a teacher. And get this, she was a journalist for the Rocky Mountain News. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She passed many laws. One was a minimum wage law for women. She improved the pay for teachers. She extended the number of months children were required to attend school each year. I'm sure that wasn't too popular with the children. She also urged adequate funding and enlightened the treatment for the mentally ill. In 1915, Senator Robinson was invited to accompany Henry Ford on a trip to Europe in the interest of peace. Mr. Waybright and I hiked to the next camp, and we continued our conversation. And he thanked me for what I did. But I said the real thanks was for women like his great-grandmother, who helped to pave the way for all the women who came after. And it was my true honor to meet him and learn about her. He said he never saw her photo in the Capitol basement. So the first thing I did when I got back to Colorado was I took a picture, and she is down there, and I sent one to him. And he was very appreciative of that. But you never know who you will meet and where you will meet them. But that was very, very touching to me. And one last thing I do want to mention is that the history of women in the Colorado legislature has a great past. In fact, there is a new documentary film called Strong Sisters, Elected Women in Colorado. Even Senator Helen Ring Robinson is in that, not live or filmed, but she's in that. This film does not only provide factual history of Colorado in the legislature, but oral history of over 80 elected women sharing their views and how they ran for these important positions. The writers and producers of this documentary are both elected women themselves, Laura Hopner and Meg Froelich, and their work honors Colorado women leaders of the past, and it inspires leaders of the future. Thank you for your attention, and I ask for your support of this resolution for Women's History Month.